20 years ago,
Right.
my message to suppliers about the importance of CSR, corporate social responsibility, fell usually on deaf ears. Too busy trying to make profit to spend time and all that stuff was the usual comment. Wow, has that changed? Welcome to this BVTV CSR Trilogy coming to you from the UK Studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. My guest today is at the forefront of helping businesses be better. He founded CSR-A in 2018, which provides the UK's only National Social Responsibility Accreditation scheme. So let's meet Richard Collins. Hello, Richard.
Hello, lovely to be here and to be on the show. Thank you very much for inviting me.
It's a delight because the work you're doing is so important in my mind, and you're doing it so well as well. That's the main thing. You're doing it well. Richard, I'd like to kick off episode 1 by asking you to explain the importance today of CSR, corporate social responsibility, and ensuring that it's both embedded and authentic in a business.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I'll do that. And I'll kind of lead up to that because I think there's a little bit of history in terms of CSR has been around since, for a very long time, for hundreds of years, defined as CSR in the 1950s. And I think people have different ideas of what they think it is and what it means. Is it about philanthropy or sustainability, or is it about how we treat people at work and so on and so forth? And we were approached to look at a CSR accreditation model back in sort of 2016, 17. And the first thing we did was we wanted to establish what is CSR. And we wanted to kind of create a definition for it. So in other words, a new standard for social responsibility. And we established the 4 pillars of environment, workplace, philanthropy and community. And these become a really lovely framework that every organization, no matter how big or small, can look at and recognize what they are currently doing. But further than that, we wanted to look at the inclusivity of social responsibility. So in other words, remove the word corporate from corporate social responsibility and make it more meaningful, more approachable. So now the C stands for community or for charity or for company, for citizen, for collaboration, for collectiveness, for climate. I mean, the list goes on. So we wanted to make social responsibility something that you and I could be part of, not just the senior management or whoever it might be, but we all play a role. And we wanted, we like to refer to CSR as social responsibility, so embedding social responsibility into our business. And we wanted to look at how businesses and organizations of all sizes could embrace that. So we demonstrate that everyone's doing it already. And when you look at those 4 pillars, we are delivering CSR, social responsibility. We're already doing it. And the framework we've put together allows you to kind of look at what you're doing and pull it together. And then developing that accreditation allows us to independently recognize and validate what you're doing and start you on a journey. And post-pandemic, and I'm going to say post-pandemic, I think we're nearly there. But the pandemic has made us all as citizens stop and think about what's important, recognize the environment and our neighbours and the local charities and businesses. And I think it's pulled us together and made us rethink about the future we want, especially the next generation of talent. And so we think of social responsibility as being an emotional investment. So investing in enriching the quality of lives for all of us by allowing social value to be part of our organization's culture. And therefore we can deliver that sense of purpose and value. And we can also work together to build a better planet for future generations and a cohesive community for us all to live and work in. And that's what it's about. It's about bringing that together and providing a platform that allows businesses and organizations, third, private and public, from sole trader to multinational, to deliver authentic, and properly thought through social responsibility initiatives and strategies. Yeah.
An interesting survey this week said that 1 in 4, that's 1 in 4, 25% of all Generation Z people will not work for a company that hasn't got a social responsibility embedded. That's quite an interesting survey, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's amazing. And I think we're seeing a big shift. I mean, the Roundtable for Corporate America removed shareholder kind of value from number one and replaced it with social value. And I think because there was a global change in attitudes towards businesses doing the right thing, doing good, being seen to do that, and not just the millennials, but Gen Z and Gen A coming up rapidly as well. This is a generation that wants something so different. They want purpose and value in their working lives, and they want to know that they're doing something that's going to change the world for better, to leave a legacy, a positive legacy for all. And we're seeing it in the university figures. We're seeing it in interviews. We're seeing it, in the skills gap that's emerging. This generation are scrutinizing a business's website before applying for a job, because they want to make sure that business is doing good, it's looking after its workforce, is looking after the planet, and so on and so forth.
But I also think there's an area that perhaps we haven't been thinking about too closely. But this morning I read that from NatWest Bank, their supply chain manager, that social responsibility can be of personal value as well. It doesn't just be for the company, it can be personal value to you in your career. That's a nice, interesting angle, isn't it?
Well, this is right. And we think social responsibility is about the individual. That's the important thing. I mean, going back to that enrichment of our lives by allowing social value to be part of our working lives. So not just something about us being at home. As citizens, we all care about many things, about the planet, about climate change, about maybe dementia or mental health and well-being, or so many different things that we care about. And if our businesses and our organizations we work for can embrace that and allow that to be part of our job experience, then you're really creating that engagement. And this is what's really important, is creating engagement. And through that engagement, you drive better productivity and better advocacy, and you create a happier workforce, a workforce that is properly engaged in what they want to do. So I do think that socialist, when we go back to kind of like COP26 just recently, and it's a great thing that the globe is working together to minimize our impact on the planet. But a lot of the stuff that they talk about, we feel almost on an individual level almost excluded from. What can I do? And we believe that we can provide this framework that says, well, actually, we can show you by doing very little things, through your business and through your home life. Just turn the lights out, LEDs, shut doors, take computers off standby, walk to work if you can. All these micro gestures by millions of people add up to big impacts. And really, that's what it's all about, isn't it, Malcolm? At the end of the day, the value is in impact. We've got to, if we measure and show the impacts, then we show that we're making a difference.
Brilliant, Richard. Brilliant. Thanks. Now let's give viewers and listeners details of your URL, your website. Obviously, viewers, you can see it on the screen behind me, but for listeners, let me spell it out. It's all the W's dot CSR accreditation.co.uk. All the W's, CSR-accreditation.co.uk. Now, here at BVTV, Conscious and Better Business, we're proud to be partnering with Richard's organisation to help you both become and show your commitment to social responsibility. In episode 2, I'm going to ask Richard to tell us about his 4 pillars of social responsibility. Meanwhile, Richard, many thanks for episode 1.
Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for the invitation.